Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to MaxPax versus Reynor. The current rank 1 Protoss in the world versus the current rank 3 Zerg in the world. But when it comes to attractiveness in playstyle, I think Reynor is the most attractive. When it comes to attractiveness in looks, I think Reynor is the most attractive. So in reality, this is just the number 1 versus the number 1, okay? The best versus the best. That's what I'm trying to tell you all. Yeah, but for realsies, ZVP, Reynor, MaxPax, these guys have provided many times in the past with insanely fun series. It's because both of them actually want to fight. They're both players that enjoy controlling units and shoving them, you know, into the opponent's base or, you know, just into the middle of the map. They both like being in control. You know, they both have a very dominating presence. So it's always very difficult when you have two guys, you know, that kind of play for getting some type of dominant position in a game. Only one of them can have it. Only one can have map control, you know? So they're not good at sharing. Let me tell you, they're not good at sharing. So I love watching these guys play. I think it's always phenomenal. I haven't seen them play post-patch yet, actually, now that I think about it. They might have, but then I might have missed it. I'm very excited for this. This is sadly being played on... Well, sadly, this is being played in the Masters Coliseum 8. That means I don't have access to those replays, and thus I'll be using the live feed that luckily did get provided to us by the Chinese company that runs it. That does mean that the quality that we're going to be watching in is a little bit worse, but we have some things making up for that. As you can see, there's a nice banner in Chinese on the bottom right, and we also have a picture of, I think that's an Adept, and a picture of Reynor pointing to the logo of his team. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I think we lost a bit more quality than we gained in, you know, value, but it's okay. You know, it's the way of the world. Let's just focus on the gameplay for now and forget that sometimes we can count the pixels on the screen. Adept is just walking across. It's looking for some damage. It's not going to find it. Ooh, or is it? Or, no, it's not. It's not even going to force a single spore. It's not going to kill a single link. It's just going to piss off back home after taking quite a bit of damage. Is this triple or double Adept? I don't even know. This feels like a... Oh, it's Adept into Stalker. Ew. It's one of those things that is really cool if you get the kill on the Overlord, and if you don't kill the Overlord, you feel like an absolute loser. Because you just invested 25 more gas into a unit, which only purpose is really to shoot that Overlord. And if the Overlord ain't there to shoot, then you invested in something useless and you delayed some stuff for it. And that really sucks. Gonna go into double Oracle into tech, I believe this is going to be. We see quite a bit of money flotation on the side of MaxPax. It's going to clear. Ooh, that was no cancel. There was a... Oh, another no cancel. Wait a second, Reynor. What's going on over here? He's rushing out that +1 melee very quickly, but that's not going to distract me from the fact that he just lost 2 drones that were building a spore without cancelling. That is a really big deal. That actually is a really big deal. Huge blunder here out of Reynor. MaxPax now going to clear 1 creep tumor with that high energy Oracle after being energy recharged. Forged Twilight is fairly late. We're going to have some extra gateways coming down as well. Yeah, 2 spores going down. That's a... Woo! Good lord. That's a lot of cash that you're losing. That is actually a lot of cash that you're losing. And we're going to have to wait and see how Reynor's going to make up for that. But this is not the start that he dreamt of. Queen count, 3 here at this base. I wonder if it's 1-1-3 or if we're doing 3-2-1 or 3-2-2. I mean, you have different queen combinations you can go for. Nowadays, a lot of Zerg players are going for that lower queen count, only going up to 4 or 5. Oh, this is a beautiful counter attack though. Look at that. MaxPax says, hey, I'm going to run all my adepts across the map. And Reynor pretty much did the same with his links, but did leave some defenses at home as well. So he's going to get 6 worker kills here, deny quite a bit of mining, and that's going to undo... Well, it's not going to undo some of the damage that has been dealt. Like, this was really just some revenge killings. You know, that's not going to bring those spore drones back, or the money that was invested into the spore, but it does help in evening out the game at least, you know? We're going to be looking at maybe even a slightly favored game here for Reynor, who's floating in a decent chunk of minerals. +1 melee is about to finish up. What is MaxPax's plan here? For now, I think it's going to be... Was this 4 or 6 gate? Do we already have the 4 gates? I can't even recall. Look at it, infestation pit timing. Holy crap. Reynor is absolutely sprinting into the into the hive tag. This is a serious push attempt though, out of MaxPax. I think he has 6 gateways. He's on 4 gases. He's now gonna take 2 extra gases, 6 minutes and 35 seconds in. This is a tiny little army. One of the worst armies that I've seen in my life here. Reynor should be capable of just cleaning this up, and he should not be allowed to take any damage here. If he takes any damage, it's purely... it should be either indirect, or because he walks into a stasis with his entire force. And honestly, that shouldn't be possible. So, yeah, Links are just gonna come in with +1. They're gonna kill these units very fast. Oracles, they pretend like they're killing a lot of stuff, but in reality, this is a losing trade here for MaxPax. Absolutely. He's gonna probably need to recall out, or he's gonna lose all of his presence here on the map. His map aura completely gone. A very mid-opener here out of the Danish Protoss player. The young Crown Prince is going to fall behind. Reynor did build too many links though, look at that. He even had 6 more in production just now, and it was clear as day to everyone with a brain that this was going to get pushed back with the current link count. So worker count lower than it should have been. And gas count not even at 6 yet, I believe. I think I'm seeing, I can't count, 4? 5? 5 gases maybe. We have 3 on the way right now. So he's gonna go up to those higher gas numbers, and he's defending with Pureling, which means there's no real gas being spent. But look at his gas bank. He just built 5 Hydras. How many lurkers can you build right now? Like 2? 2 lurkers is not going to do anything, Reynor. You're going to need like 6, 7, 8, 12, 15. High numbers of lurkers, especially against these high numbers of stalkers. The fact, by the way, that this is pure stalker still, no storm, is actually going to make these pure link compositions much more viable. Stalkers are very bad against upgraded links if the upgraded links are in big enough numbers. The moment Adrenal Glands pops up here, MaxPax is just going to be in a world of trouble. Ideally, Reynor doesn't commit to a serious fight before Adrenal Glands. Loving this drop, by the way. Good lord. That is so cool. Slow Overlord drop. Hell yeah, I'm not loving this fight. I'm not loving this fight at all. I think this is a bad fight for Reynor that he does not want to take quite yet. He does not want to be taking this at all right now. There's also no reason for him to take it. He's just losing Hydras for free. He's trying to chase off creep. Like, your fights are going to get 20 times better in about a minute from now. You don't have to kill these Stalkers. It's not like 2 extra Stalkers are going to make the difference later on. No. What's going to make the difference is you having 15 more links or 20 more links. Maybe allowing for a run by. I do like the thought of base trading. There's Colossus out. I don't think I've ever liked Colossus as a unit, but especially post-patch. Energy recharge, providing Templar instant storms. I think the Colossus in comparison is even weaker to the Templar now. So whenever I see a Colossus, I get the heebie-jeebies. Reynor says, oh, thank you so much, good sir. That's your first Colossus that's going to be biting the dust. And it won't be the last one. As the link count is absolutely massive. Lurkers are here as well. Stasis wards are good. Adrenal not actually done, but the lurkers are out and seismic spines are done. So this is going to be an extremely one-sided affair here. I don't actually think there's anything MaxPax can do anymore. He played a mediocre build order with mediocre execution and just got completely pushed back here by Reynor, who's just walking over his opponent right now. Pure Stalker into Colossus with 0 momentum. Good luck, my dear friend, but that is never going to work in a million years. GG gets called, and Reynor wins game number 1. Map number 2 is going to be played here on Kingscough, and we see a different approach out of the Italian Stallion, the young Zerg player. Is this going to be gasless? Or is he just role-playing, cosplaying as a gasless player here? Look at that. No gas yet. That is interesting because I haven't seen this particular opener very much yet on this map. But I do believe it has some potential. I actually think it has loads of potential. Maybe even the most potential. Because there is a little angle you can take at your ramp where with 2 buildings you can block off any adept shade-ins, which would make it really difficult to punish someone that has multiple queens over at the 3rd base, 3 or 4. The question is, are the first 2 adepts going to be capable of doing anything? And the answer to that is going to be no, because there's no second adept. There's just a single adept. Oh. MaxPax is looking for a Ling run by, that doesn't exist either. This is probably as bad as an opener as you could as you could get as the Protoss player. Just purely based on the fact that you didn't know that this was proper gasless. You don't go double the depth, you're not forcing out a lot of links, and the Zerg is gonna get away with basically a free gasless opener, like at least very late gas. There's still gas coming in right now, that's pretty standard, but the first, like 2.5, 3 minutes, all of the drones were mining minerals, and that's a massive, massive mineral boost here right now. MaxPax sees that there's an extractor here mining. It's going to actually finish up this shade, which is interesting. I wonder if Reynor can clear that. Not gonna lose anything at least, just gonna clear it. Lost like 2 links, kills on a depth. Phenomenal start here. This is really the type of stuff as a Zerg player you're freaking dreaming of, man. The good type of dream, you know? You wake up and it's like, man, that was crazy. Try to go back to sleep and all you dream about is like spiders or something. I don't know. Actually, whenever I have nightmares, they're very often awfully realistic. It's not like I'm being eaten alive by like a 10-foot spider or something. Like the other day, my nightmare was that I woke up and I got fired from Shopify Rebellion, and I checked my YouTube statistics and no one was watching it anymore. You know, this is the type of stuff that I have nightmares about, where you wake up, it's like, holy crap, my life freaking sucked in my dreams. Like, that was not a fun time here whatsoever. I much rather, like, am being hunted by assassins, because it's so unrealistic, you know? It's like, oh, that again, really. An assassin, multiple assassins are going to dedicate their time to hunt down a top 35 StarCraft 2 player. It's like, is that really... Hey, you immediately know it ain't it, you know? It is not happening. Like, it's not like getting fired from your job, or, you know, bad stuff happening to your friends and family in a realistic manner. Like hit by a car or something, fell off the bike. Like, that is the type of stuff that really gets me at nightmare. It's god awful. Looking forward to all the dream analysis in the comments, by the way. Any of you, you know, professional dream analyzers, sure to, even if you're not, just an amateur one, then sure to kind of pump it up there in the comment section. This is mighty interesting, by the way, because the one reason why I thought gasless would be so good on this map is because you could kind of wall this little area here at the natural ramp, and then Reynor decided against it, which is just mightily interesting to me. I guess he does have link speed already, so it's not super relevant, but still relevant enough for me to mention. So Reynor's going up to a higher work count, has a fort base on the way, lair as well. MaxPax is gonna follow this up with charge and +1 and a prism. Does he have a Templar Archives with this? If this is just pure Zealots, I'm actually going to be highly disappointed. Ooh, Spire follow-up. I think this Templar Archives might just be too late, by the way. No? It feels very late. He already has like 600 gas. That's the equivalent of 2 Archons. Kinda wanna have those ASAP, eh? Spire play. I love Spire play. Not playing against it, but I love watching it. Muta is one of my favorite units. I've been propagandaing for a long time now. You know, pushing the agenda for a cheaper Spire. So we see more Mutas. One of the main issues with the Spire is A, the duration, and B, the price of it. That thing is freaking pricey as hell. 200 for what? The ability to make a unit that can't fight any other unit straight up? Hell no. Ooh, 5 probes going on. Once again, Reynor coming in clean here with that counterattack. Stasis wards. MaxPax gonna right click that hatchery. Oh. Huge damage here. Now, this looks like, you look at the trade here, it's like, oh, he lost like 4 zealots, 5 workers. You know, he killed, what, like a couple of drones maybe, 1 or 2 drones, and a hatchery, that's it. Doesn't have a very high worker count himself. Is this really that great for MaxPax? Well, right now Reynor's in the awkward situation where he has 74 drones. He probably wants to be going up to 8 gas in order to play proper Mutalisk. But he really can't, because he doesn't have a base to saturate. So he's going to be stuck mining on 66 workers until the end of time. If you're playing Muta with 66 workers, these Mutas better be dealing some big damage. One of the main purposes of Mutas is kind of like delaying your opponent from taking a forward base while you're going up to 5 bases, like 86, 87 workers or so. Reynor can't really do that right now. So it's going to need to follow this up with like a Ravagerling Bane push. We have the Baneling nest coming in as well. There can't be any extra Muta, so mass Muta is completely off the table. That is something that MaxPax has managed to secure right now, and that's something that Reynor can't take away currently either. Ooh, Zealots there spotted the Mutalisk. An instant Stalker warp in, apologies. No Phoenixes though. And these Mutas are still going to get a couple of kills in. So perhaps not the end of the world for the Zerg player. Does need to kill quite a bit. I want to say 14 workers is a nice number. And then a cancel on this forward base, okay? That's what I would like. That's what I would love to see. Oh, he's going to get it all. Look at that. It's going to be... Ooh. Archon Prism shows up in the main base. Oracle showing up over here. We do have Storm right now. Yeah, I don't think you can actually run up here unless you have Banelings. And generally, attacking in this position is already very hard. Now, imagine an alternative timeline in which Reynor would be at 85 workers right now, right? 10 gases pumping. We have the transition into Hive. He could literally do whatever. He could go for a freaking Brute Lord Rush at this point and it would be fine. He could be pumping out Mutas 10 at a time, you know? Like your gas income is so high at that point. Right now, you can't really... These 6 extra Mutas... They actually really need to pay for themselves. In ZVP, both parties, they really care about gas. Sure, minerals are nice, but gas is where it's at. So if you're investing 1500 gas in 15 Mutas, they need to not only kill minerals, but they also need to either delay gas income by, for example, denying the forward base, or kill a lot of gas units. So right now, these 6 extra Mutas, 600 gas, I don't see them, you know, have the added damage of killing the equivalent of 2 more Archons. I'm just not seeing that. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I would have preferred seeing a Lurker then, which is still what we're seeing, and then just a higher initial Lurker count when that Lurker push comes in, which honestly could happen in about a minute from now. Like, if we just get like 15 Lurkers out with the Seismic Spines, then good luck, my dear friend MaxPax, but it's gonna be rough. Even with these extra Mutas, the Lurker push coming in is going to be quite rough to hold. Okay, he's gonna deny a little bit of mining here. We do have 3 Phoenixes out on the map. Adrenal Glands on the way. Seismic Spine should have the absolute priority here for Reynor, by the way. Like the absolute priority for Reynor as he's trying to target down an Assimilator. That is not quite brilliant. We can get an energy recharge on that battery. That would massively help. Not sure if the energy recharge is available. Mr. Observer ain't showing me right now. 2 Phoenixes do end up falling, but those Phoenixes were pretty much irrelevant. The 10 workers is a bit of a bigger deal. Reynor is too low here in the Hydra count to get a good amount of Lurkers out, by the way. Too low. Absolutely too low. Like, ideally, we'd be pumping like 10, 12, 14, 15. We could be hitting in half a minute from now with 15 Lurkers. I think that's what we should be aiming for. Because you're in such a good spot, and you kind of want to roll that momentum into a win. If you're going to slow it down, and like you're getting all your extra upgrades, like... I understand Adrenal, I understand +2, I understand Hydra speed, I understand Overlord speed, but if you get all of them at the same time, you're losing so much power in your timing, right? That is so much gas that could have been invested in more Hydras and then more Lurkers, and a little bit faster. So, yes, you're setting yourself up for a longer game, much better than if you would have skipped some of those. But at the same time, the push that you still will need to go for, because you're investing in a lot of Lurkers, is just going to hit much weaker. And I think that is a bit of an error here out of Reynor. He doesn't seem keen on actually hitting a timing. He's completely allowing his opponent back in the game. Completely. MaxPax should have never been able to get any amount of Tempest out right now. MaxPax shouldn't have been at 180 supply. That should just not have been possible. This army out of Max is actually pretty decent as well. Let's face it. This is a nice looking army. Yes, it's only 3 Immortals. Make that 5 right now. But it has a bunch of Storms. He's controlling it well. He's far ahead of his base still. There's a couple of Stasis Wards that he can use. He has a secondary force that he can now start moving out on the map as well. And once these Tempests pop out, Like, these positions are not going to be as good anymore for Reynor to hold. Because what are you really attacking into? On top of that, Reynor's only on 70 workers. So he invested into a late game with the upgrade, but he didn't invest into a late game with his economy. And I think this is actually a bit of an issue. Like, it feels, worker count wise, it feels like he's all-inning. But then he probably should have hit harder. He should have hit faster. And I really think that was going to be possible here. Now MaxPax practically back in the game. Even worker supply, basically maxed. His army composition is looking mighty fine. He has high quality units here. 7, 8 Immortals. A bunch of Templar. We have a Tempest. Even if he loses this fort, I'm still loving MaxPax's position. Okay, I'm actually loving it. Upgrade should continue as well, maybe into shield next. He's gonna get a mothership. I don't give a crap about him losing this fort. I actually don't give a crap at all. Because Reynor still is all-inning. Like, he's not massively outmining his opponent. He's massively outmining in gas. But that's it. But he's just spending that in more Hydras. If you want to deal with Tempest, with this army, you're going to need to play Lurker Corruptor. You're not going to win otherwise. It is simply not possible. Hydras are not good enough as anti-air because Storm exists. Not good enough as anti-air. Okay, here we go. A couple of big storms again. I mean, this fight is just going to be a wash. I don't see how Reynor can win this battle. It's gonna get lunge. It's gonna push back some Archons on the right side with the Roaches. That is really nice control. That actually is really nice control. There's 3 Overseers here as well. And here comes MaxPax with a very big surround looking thing. Is he gonna commit to it? No. He's actually just gonna give it up. Wow. I thought he was actually just gonna straight up go for it. That is somewhat surprising. Not enough anti-air really to deal with these Tempest. MaxPax back on 3 bases. I am starting to get a little bit more worried for MaxPax, but as long as he preserves this army and there's no Spire units coming out, like no Corruptors, this is actually kind of okay. This is absolutely kind of okay. This is better than okay. This is fine. Double Nidus networks. Reynor's gonna stick with Hydra Lurker. I think it's a mistake. Guaranteed. This works against people that are a little bit slower at responding. MaxPax is really quick at dealing with these. And on top of that, we already have Tempest out. Once the Tempest count is like 5, 6, even if you get like 10 Lurkers into your opponent's main base, the Tempest are just going to clean it up majority of the time. So it's not quite as powerful. We already have +2 air weapons coming in as well. Gas income has been phenomenal for Reynor, but if you're not spending it into Corruptors, your gas count is practically meaningless. Like, I don't care about it in that case. You're not creating an army that can win or that can trade. Reynor right now is planning on moving out. Can't engage into it. It's just not possible. You need Corruptors. It's gonna go into Ultra Cavern now. It's a fungal. There's no follow-up. What are you gonna do? Run forward with 20 Hydras? Then get stormed right in your face? Ooh. Mothership running back home. Going to clear both of these Niduses. And the Tempest continue pushing him forward. Tempest control is also really easy if there's no Corruptors and no Vipers, by the way. Ooh, and as I say that, Fat Fungal's actually gonna hit. 3 Tempests. No, 2 Tempests. Yes, 3 Tempests are gonna end up falling. I'm not sure if this was a good trade, though, for Reynor, money-wise. Reynor looks like he's going to be capped by minerals, by the way, rather than by gas. Which is rare to see. Like, he has 3k of both. Right about. Okay, Ultra Cavern with the upgrades. I'm not loving this play. I really am not loving this play. There's plenty of Immortals out already. You have like 10 Immortals. What are you gonna do with the Ultra? What are you gonna do? Ooh. If you get sniped this Nidus, that would be huge. That would be massive. You should have gone for that Nidus. That should have been the priority here, the Nidus. Wait, Reynor's not going in? He's gonna let all of these die. We're gonna have a surround from 2 sides. Oh, this is gnarly as well. This is a gnarly little surround. I'm not sure if there's enough Lurkers there on the bottom side to really catch this entire army. Oracle's gonna get sniped. This looked fine-ish for Reynor, but if we actually take a look at the banks, they seem to be getting closer, not further apart. We have a lunge forward there out of the Hydras, trying to go into 6 cannons. Good luck with that, my dear friend. We're 5 base versus practically 5 base. I mean, Like, these fights are not going to end up going better for Reynor, right? He already had the peak of this army, you know? His army is past his prime. Absolutely past his prime. "14 lurkers. He's in a midlife crisis right now. 14 lurkers? Oh no. Just divorced his wife and bought a Harley Davidson. Don't do it, Reynor. You're cool enough without it. Just build some corruptors, man. I know you know what's right. Who are you trying to impress? You don't even have a license for that thing. Like, I don't understand what 15 more lurkers are gonna do. That, you know, like, what's the difference between 25 lurkers and freaking 12 lurkers at this point? It's probably worse to have, you know, the 25 lurkers. Oh, actually, he's gonna get into a nice position. The Hydra count, though. The Hydra count, is that big enough here to clear? He's gonna get one carrier. Could just snipe the Overseer and then invisibility. Oh my god, all these Hydras are gonna die. Yeah, it's a one-sided affair. This should be game. I mean, this should be game because the next fight is not gonna get better. It's not game because this fight was like the end of the world. Both players can still max out once more. MaxPax can easily max out because he hardly lost anything. Reynor can easily max out because he had a fairly decently... He has a, you know, a decent bank still. But this is the problem. He's gonna get 25 lurkers and 6 carriers right now, or 6 ultras. Like, what is the plan here for the carrier Tempest? Like, stare at it angrily from downstairs? He's gonna be shooting fat balls in your face, man. Gonna get an aggressive recall. Not sure what I think of that. I mean, I don't hate it necessarily. This thing is invincible at this point because you can't neural it, you can't abduct it in either. Oracle would be phenomenal to have. Salad run by going into this base. Immortal count is what, 4? Ideally you get some more immortals here. But at the same time, there's not that many armor upgrades for the Ultra base. So carriers with +3 will still be capable of dealing a little bit of damage. It's actually 5 or 6 immortals. I think it's 6 immortals. That might just be enough. Oh, we get an aggressive recall. That is pretty committed. I'll give him that. That is pretty committed. He's going to just snipe some of the tech here. I would love for him to just go for the Hydra then as well. And then say adios, my dear friend. In a way, sniping the Hydra then would be doing Reynor a favor, because then he wouldn't build any more Hydras at this point in the game, which actually is starting to turn into a bit of a mistake every time he builds them. So clearing the Lurker then and the Hydra, then it's like, oh, thank God. He'll be forced into Corruptors from here on out. Still no Vipers out. Without Vipers, dealing with carriers is hard, especially if you also don't have Corruptors. Ooh, he's accidentally gonna leave 2 units behind. Let's hope Reynor does not quite see that. But, oh, okay, now we get the Vipers. I mean, Reynor's army is, let's face it, pretty freaking garbage. He's gonna set up a massive concave. But I really wonder how much supply is gonna be capable of killing here. I don't think it's gonna be more than 15. 197 to 190. 193 to 160. Oh, actually it gets quite a bit. No, I got quite a bit. Got like 30 supply there. That wasn't all bad. Yeah, very easy win here for MaxPax in the end. After a phenomenal start, really, for Reynor. Impressive play. MaxPax stayed calm, but Reynor, I think he threw this one out the window. All right, game 2 between these two absolute beasts of humans. It's going to be played on Ultra Love. After a phenomenal, really a phenomenal game 2 out of MaxPax. I'm curious to see what the Reynor is going to be doing. Because really, that early game went as well as it could have for him. But he did not have the solutions to his problems, you know? He really did not have any solutions to any of his problems, which one could consider a serious issue. And I'm expecting MaxPax to play similar. Not perhaps the same, but similar is really what I'm feeling here. Like, he can open up with Blink and then go into Storm. But eventually you're going to have to deal with that army. Unless you clear your opponent faster. We've seen a whole lot less of queen walks, by the way, since the new patch. I don't know why that is exactly, but it is the truth. We're gonna go Forged Twilight once more. Double Oracle. The golden standard right now in PvZ land. Oh, that's one. Ooh, also an attack into the next one. Fast pull away there on the drones. Really well done out of Reynor. It's gonna be taking no damage here whatsoever. Phenomenal stuff. Really the best. Okay, he doesn't seem very phased by what happened in that second game. Because he's playing phenomenal StarCraft there. That was really solid in the defense. Nice drone pool, a spore production, and then only a single drone in that stasis ward. Hell yeah, that's what we like to see. Another fast drone pool here as well. It's not going to lose anything. And now the Lingra. This is the third time in a row. Usually it's 3 times the charm, but here it is every single time. All 3 times is the charm. 8 worker kills. Pylon destruction as well. MaxPax getting completely blasted here. In the early game by Reynor. Now, Reynor did invest a lot of money into those links. He also kept quite a few at home. So ideally he gets a little bit more done with those. But even if he doesn't, I'm fine with this. Hell, I'm even fine with an attack here. Like, if he were to get Overlord speed at this point, I'd say, you know what, Reynor? Why not? Why wouldn't we get that Overlord speed? Why wouldn't we just run across the map with some queens and some roaches? You know, it's hard against high stalker numbers, but your early game is good enough. You deserve it. For him. Ooh, fat Ling attack here. There is an Oracle defensively, no battery. 1 stalker goes down, 2 stalkers go down. Link's actually getting some value. Queen dies as well, that's expensive. We have a new queen in production already, and 4 gases going down at the same time. It will not be heavy stalker aggression because we're rushing into a Templar Archive here. Ooh, Adept are trying to get some damage. Will they finish that shade? No, they'll cancel. Will be a recall. Yes, of course. Guaranteed recall over there. I'm really curious what Reynor's going to be following this up with. He's not rushing in... Oh no, okay. He's going to rush into an infestation pit. Could this be Swarm Host? No. Oh, he just cancelled the infestation pit. Goes for a Hydra then instead. Why? Roach Hydra? No. 66. He's going 6 gas? No, 7 gas? Roach Hydra. Lurker then? He's forgetting his hive. He's forgetting his hive. Overlord speed as well. Okay. I'm not familiar with this strategy. I don't think he's forgetting the hive. Because he cancelled the infestation pit purposefully, right? And he didn't start the hive. So that's 2 things he did. So he's saving gas on infestation pit, hive, and seismic spines to hit with a harder hitting lurker push, allowing him to perhaps go for a big drop, as well as a push with maybe 6-7 lurkers in between the bases. He has a high queen count, so he can keep his lurkers alive for a long period of time too. No, it's not going to be a drop. It's not going to be big. Straight up attack here. Not in between bases. I'm confused. Curious to see how it will work out though. This is a rough map to attack on. Like, it's really easy to defend stuff here. MaxPax could actually just clear that cooling tower on the left as well to pop open some more stuff in there. Links are gonna die at a rapid pace. We don't have a single drop. I think in this case what you really need is like a lurker in the natural, a lurker in the main, lurker at the fourth. You're basically lurkering everywhere. That's what I would say. I do like this build, but I don't love the execution. MaxPax on a very high worker count, Reynor on a very low worker count. I hope MaxPax is aware of the fact that he's allowed to give up this base. He doesn't really need to keep it. I mean, if he's mining 6 gases on 3 base, his position is just fine. It's just fine. Now we have an infestation pit for Reynor. Yeah, MaxPax with some very clean decision making here. Just phenomenal stuff. This is some of the hardest things to do in StarCraft 2, is to accept that you can give up a base. Saying, hey, this base not necessary for me to hold. I'd rather lose this base than losing 5 Templar and 10 Stalkers and then still losing the base. He's making a very, very adult decision. This is mature. Very mature play out of MaxPax. He's instantly re-expanding to the bottom right as well. That's a non-committed fort there in the bottom right, by the way. If it finishes, he can start adding cannons. If it doesn't finish, then he's like, okay, whatever. I can just retake my original fort because my Tempest and my Mothership is about to pop out. So I really like a lot of things that MaxPax is doing here. I actually think he's playing some phenomenal StarCraft. Reynor's in a really weird position because his army supply is freaking huge, but his upgrades are terrible. Like, he does not have seismic spines, he doesn't have adaptive talents. That means that storms are going to be a major nuisance here too. This is such an interesting strategy. Because you see a maxed out army, but he's also on a massive timer here, Reynor. Because he needs to trade somewhat effectively against whatever the hell it is that MaxPax is doing. Ooh, Mothership's gonna go down. Okay, this is such an interesting build. Hive is halfway as well. We don't have +2 range quite yet. Hydras now make their way into the natural. We'll start pumping some of these probes away. This is such a cool strat. I am loving this innovation here coming out of Reynor. I adore the gameplay. I really do. Queen Lurker all in, basically. Off of lair attack. Such obvious weaknesses to this build. Counterattacks, as well as any range unit. But it seems to at least be somewhat working. We want to place a caveat there that the money for Reynor has and will remain mediocre because his worker count is balls. I wish Reynor was aware of that bottom right side base. I'm not sure if this is enough to clear this, is it? If Reynor loses, oh, he's not gonna dare going in there. Okay, at the same time we still have this attack into the natural. Look how patiently MaxPax is dealing with this, by the way. And I once again want to place a flag here for everyone to see that the income has been very similar this entire time. So although this feels like Reynor is winning really hard, he hasn't dealt the damage yet. Now for the first time, MaxPax is dipping below the worker count of his opponent, but his army comp is phenomenal. Once this Mothership pops out, I actually really do believe that Reynor is going to be in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to be killing 2 workers at the same time. Is there enough anti-air to deal with this? I think the answer is no. Here we go, invisibility. There's 1 overseer. Could just snipe that and then run in, by the way. Could just snipe that and run in. Could just run in with the Mothership plus Tempest. There's not enough anti-air right now. Seismic Spines is about to finish up. We have 56 workers to 69. Fort base is under attack. Sadly, is not gonna die. The natural did die, but there's still 3 bases that can mine. Now for the first time in Reynor's life, he's actually going to up the worker count a little bit. He's taking an 8th gas. Doesn't even have a 5th base yet. Oh, these workers are huge! If he can clear those workers, oh my god. If Reynor had been capable of taking out 15 workers there, that could have been game ending. Because then all of a sudden, there's a lot of pressure on MaxPax to do something with this army. But right now, not really the case. Loving this Spire, by the way. Remember what I said last game? Corruptors are the key in dealing with Tempest Carrier. Absolutely the key. The question is, can he unlock this key? Does he know how to turn the key? Does he get 10 gases here? But he's still only 72 workers. I got so excited when I saw 5 workers, but he needed 10 more. Okay, he needed 10 more. He's been playing without grooved spines this entire time. Look at that. Just now starting. I don't think Reynor was aware of that because the range upgrade on the Hydra is pretty freaking big. Okay, it helps in battles. MaxPax, similar to last game, is just planning on maxing out. And Reynor, this time, once again, doesn't really have the eco. Does not have the eco to take bad trades. It's going to be 4 base against practically 4 base. Worker count for both players low. We're now going in with a... What the hell is this? This is a doom drop if I've ever seen one. This actually is one of the most interesting ZVPs I've seen in a very long time. Such cool play out of Reynor. Oh, that's freaking 12 Overlords? He's actually going all out. Is there enough anti-air in the mix though? Because an easy maneuver to play is to just, right? You just pull all your air units, go back home, keep your ground units on the map. I think there might just be enough air units here. Of course, Tempest, they take a while to chew through an army like this. Carrier count is only 2. I think your target should be the anti-air so that your carriers can come in and start cleaning. I thought we had a mothership too, by the way. Might not be here. Ooh, big stasis wars. That's a huge view. Okay, we have 1 Tempest, a mothership, a couple of Templar around. Yes, the anti-air now is being targeted down. A couple of Queens falling. Main base is complete toast though. I mean, it's Corruptor time right now, right? 72 workers behind this. 13 Corruptors. Still feel like going up to 10 gas and 8 more workers here would be huge. But I think Reynor, I'm not sure if he's doing it. Because the army hasn't disappeared on MaxPax's side. He's not getting impatient. He's just giving up what he can give up. And he believes he can give up quite a bit. He doesn't lose a lot of mining with this, realistically. Lose a little bit, but still 1800 minerals to 2200. Supplies are fairly close. 17 Corruptors now. Lurker Corruptor. Should be, will be Reynor's composition. Can he go in here? We're gonna need a high Lurker count, by the way. Like 12, 15, 15. 15. I like the number 15 here. He's a lot of them. Triple Link drop as well in the main. Good call. Adrenal Glands coming in. Good call. Does not have melee upgrades on those right now. I mean, there's just no production facilities whatsoever for MaxPax. Look at the gas bank though for Reynor. You see that? It's nothing. It's non-existent. Okay, here we go. Corruptors moving in forward. I would love to see them target down those carriers. Love to see them target down those carriers as the first one. And now you go back. Now we go back. I think he's doing it. Really phenomenal play out of Reynor. A really, really phenomenal play. Okay, we have the Tempest as well. I think the natural is pretty open, by the way. You know, you could just pump some lurkers in there. Absolutely. Because there's no defenses. I think walking up this ramp is a mistake. Although, I'm not sure how much the natural is actually worth here from Reynor's point of view. Okay, he's gonna do that. Just that execute. Perfect. Perfect movement here out of Reynor. What are we missing? We're missing upgrades. So Reynor's still only on +1 range and +1 carapace on the air. It's going to clean, well, both the main and the natural. It's 200 supply to 127. And this is a win if I've ever seen one. MaxPax doesn't believe it though. More cannons, Stargates. He's now gonna get Void Rays on 2 bases. I really think a Viper would be sick. I also think just killing the Tempest and the Mothership here is huge. If you go up to like 10 gas, 12 gas, like you're pumping like a madman. He needs to kind of have a... I think he could also move in between the 3rd and the 4th right now, so you're still attacking something. You know? Where you're not attacking into the army, you're kind of forcing the TOS army to attack you. And that could be huge. So you go in between the 3rd and the 4th, and you start attacking the 4th with like 2 lurkers behind the mineral lines. Like, okay, good luck dealing with that. You can't split off Tempest, because the Tempest are not safe without Archon and Storm, you know? That's just the way it is. But sometimes that's not the way it feels. Templar Archive going down would be a big deal. MaxPax still staying in. I mean, this is theoretically impossible for MaxPax to win. But I always appreciate that he stays in for long times. He has taken games in the past, but I don't think he has someone like Reinvents caliber. I think he's a bad angle to engage, by the way. Go from in between bases if you want to attack. Because right now you're just safe, right? Over here. That should not be possible. Gonna pick up 1 Tempest, takes out 1. I do like that he's committed to continuously trading. Flop. Next carrier goes down. No, it doesn't. Stays alive. +2 range now on the way. Still no attack upgrades on the other unit. Lurker count is falling a little bit. You do have to be somewhat careful. Like, if your entire lurker count is gone, it could almost get scary. I think the corruptor count is just too good. We're not seeing the fight on the bottom right. I think there's still stuff happening. I almost wish that these corruptors, like, they need to commit. They can't go back and forth the entire time, you know? I'm actually getting a little bit afraid here for Reynor, because he's taking a lot of damage from these corruptors. Oh, he has so much cash. Not my face. Lurker's now moving forward. There's an objective. That's good. Corruptor count is fairly low. Corruptor count is practically non-existent. But so is this base here. Look at the army supply. 105 to 125. It's going to be minus 2 tankers. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that this is close though. 1 mining base against... Now it's like 3 mining bases. It's a lot of gas income. Ooh, nice lunch. Nice Templar. I mean, MaxPax is scoping very hard. He's scoping harder than I was still a minute ago. It's always scary to see Zergs push into position though. With Tempest Immortal Archon. Hell yeah, that's scary. Oh, there goes 1 Tempest. +2 range finishes up. Oh, Max. I think we're on 1 base. The other dude has 6 gases. We just can. Funnily enough, there's no overseer with this army, by the way. So you could theoretically go full invisible and try to go for it. I mean, it shouldn't work, but it's always something you can do. Like, you can't re-expand. Like, that is so non-viable. That's insane. 89 supply to 128, but there's still like 40 supply in the chamber as well. That he can shoot out instantly whenever he loses anything. So, yeah, it's impossible to win the game here for Maxi. There's enough overseers right now in this force as well. A couple of the big storms are hitting. I mean, this is almost embarrassing to say. This is coping at the highest level. It really is. Ooh, it's gonna hit a nice time warp. We don't have Revelation. No, we do have Revelation. Killed nothing. GG gets called. Reynor wins the series 2-1. Wow. Impressive W here for the man in the picture pointing to the Basilisk logo. Gets the W. And that, my dear friends, is going to be it for me today as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.